You take a bite of cake or grab a cold soda on a warm afternoon. It tastes amazing. And while your taste buds are celebrating, your body immediately goes to work processing what comes next. Looking at this diagram of the body's internal response, you can see the carbohydrates being digested and absorbed. As glucose enters your bloodstream, your pancreas detects the change and releases insulin, a hormone that signals your cells to pull that glucose in and convert it into fuel. This mechanism is essential for survival. Your body performs this sequence flawlessly every day, maintaining the precise energetic balance required to keep you moving. But if our cells and our brains strictly require glucose to function, why do global health organizations constantly warn us about eating it? The answer lies in the packaging. When you eat an apple, you are getting naturally occurring sugars, but they are tightly bound with water, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. That is entirely different from consuming a soft drink, which delivers a massive, concentrated dose of free sugars, completely stripped of those nutritional anchors. If glucose itself isn't the problem, how does excess added sugar actually cause damage, and where does that damage begin? The very first point of impact happens before the food even reaches your stomach. Your mouth is home to billions of bacteria, and the moment you consume free sugars, those bacteria begin feeding on them. As they metabolize that sugar, they produce a localized chemical reaction. They excrete acids that immediately lower the pH inside your mouth, directly eroding and demineralizing the hard enamel protecting your teeth. This is why frequency matters far more than total volume. If you sip a single sugary soda over the course of an entire afternoon, you are subjecting your teeth to repeated, relentless acid attacks all day long, never giving your saliva a chance to neutralize the environment. Visible cavities and dental decay are highly localized problems, but they act as an early warning system. They are the first external indicators of what a repetitive pattern of excess sugar is doing deeper inside. Once that liquid sugar enters your bloodstream, a new problem emerges. Because liquid calories don't trigger the body's natural fullness signals the way solid foods do, it is incredibly easy to consume massive amounts of energy very quickly, completely overwhelming your metabolic system. To handle that heavy glucose traffic, your pancreas is forced to overproduce insulin. When this energetic surplus happens day after day, the body's cells stop responding efficiently. The pancreas pumps out more insulin just to get the same amount of glucose out of the blood, causing insulin resistance. With cells refusing the load, your liver stores that unburned energy directly within its tissues as fat. You don't need to drink a drop of alcohol for this to happen. A persistent diet high in added sugars is enough to drive the development of fatty liver disease entirely on its own. Your internal organs are highly specialized metabolic factories, but they have limits. When you constantly force them to operate past their natural capacity, the internal machinery simply begins to break down. If blood sugar remains elevated over a span of years, the damage moves from the major organs down to a microscopic level, spreading quietly through your entire circulatory system. This happens through a process called glycation. Without the strict control of enzymes, excess sugar molecules in your blood bind randomly to healthy proteins and fats. This creates deformed compounds known as AGEs. When they accumulate, they physically alter surrounding tissues. The walls of your tiniest blood vessels lose flexibility, becoming stiff, narrowed, and highly prone to damage. The systems that rely on the most delicate microvascular networks suffer first. This means the highly sensitive filtering structures inside your kidneys and the microscopic vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to your nerves. It also threatens your eyes. The exact same process degrades the fragile capillaries within your retinas, creating the precise cellular conditions that lead to severe vision loss over time. High levels of circulating sugar molecules actively bind to and degrade the structural integrity of your most fragile tissues. Hearing this, it is easy to fall into extremes, but eating one sweet dessert will not instantly age your skin or damage your brain. Health is dictated by your overall metabolic trajectory, not isolated indulgences. You also don't need to buy expensive sugar detoxes or specialized juice cleanses. Your body is already equipped with the most advanced, highly efficient filtering organs on Earth. They just need you to stop overloading them. The scientific consensus from organizations like the World Health Organization is clear. They do not recommend eliminating all carbohydrates. Instead, they recommend keeping your intake of free, added sugars below 10% of your total daily calories. True biological nutrition rarely operates on a binary of entirely good or entirely bad foods. It all comes down to context, total amount, and frequency. That frequency is where the true danger of excess sugar lies. The progression of insulin resistance, fatty liver, and microvascular damage happens completely silently, without acute pain, over years of daily routines. One sugary drink will never define your health, but thousands of choices, repeated consistently over a decade, can eventually force your organs to operate in a permanent state of metabolic emergency. So the next time you reach for something sweet, you don't need to ask if it's a poison. You just need to ask, how often am I making this choice? Because inside your body, your long-term health is determined entirely by the pattern.